Yeah, can we be done by 8 o'clock so I can go and play Fortnite because my girlfriend's in bed with flu.
Nice.
She's got flades.
How very considerate of you.
Yeah.
Is this the usual thing?
There's nothing I can do about it.
She's sick in bed.
She's sick in bed. I'm going to play video games.
Will you be able to hear her when you've got your headphones on?
No, she'll be asleep. Chris, she's been in bed for about 5 days now.
Get well soon, Anna.
Yeah,
if you're listening, which is probably not, because Ross doesn't even listen to our podcast.
We don't have any internet at home, do we? So
you've got 5G, 4G,
4G.
some G.
I've burnt through all my data playing Fortnite.
Oh God!
and looking at how to DIY as well. It's like, oh right,
I've got a book actually. Do you want to borrow a book?
Is it the big red fat book that's in Aldi?
No. Anyway, welcome to the podcast.
You all right?
Hello.
This is the snooze button, where we bring you about half an hour's worth of news, and then, an alarm goes off, and we'll hit the snooze button and do a little bit more, and then bugger off. So, should we do that?
Go on then.
Okay.
You don't have to do that, Chris. You just fix it in the edit.
I know. It helps me get into character, you know.
What? Dad joke. Dad joke man.
Captain Dad Jokes.
Corporal Dad joke. I was explaining to Anna the Blackadder goes forth.
Oh, yeah.
Run out of milk gag.
Oh, Christ, yeah.
Run out of milk gag.
Yeah. There's an amazing gag in Blackadder where they're like, Baldrick's making tea, and they're just moaning about how shit the tea tastes. And he's like, well, we ran out of tea in like 1914. So what you've been using? He's like, mud. And I can't remember what he uses for milk, but then he uses dandruff for sugar.
That's right, yeah.
And then who's the Ponzi? Well, I'd say that. Darling comes in and he's like, do you want a cup of tea, sir? And he's like, yeah. Yeah, how many sugars? He's like 4. And Blackadder goes, I think you can manage that, Baldrick. He's like, I'll try. It's such good. It's just British comedy.
I've not seen it for years. Absolutely years. Well, since it was first aired, I don't think I've ever seen it again. I
think you would appreciate it now more because you're older and
wiser.
Yeah, just probably
I'll go with that,
sensibilities a bit more. It's like how The Office is better now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
Just gets better with age.
People's understanding of humour in like the dry sense is improved, isn't it? It's become more of a norm. Back then, it was a bit kind of cutting edge. You know what I mean? As
a nation, we have been at the forefront of comedy in the English language for a very long time.
Very true. All the way back to Shakespeare.
Yeah, basically.
Anyway,
snooze button.
That's not really news,
right,
is
let's
it?
Stop talking about DIY and Shakespeare and talk about fucking comic books, movies.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, there is some
straight
in stuff.
I've definitely read more comic books than Shakespeare, so...
I was trying to impress a girl once, so I tried to read Shakespeare. Fuck that. Fuck it.
Was it your English teacher?
No.
Right.
Still
just thought I'd check.
Anyway, so who's the player?
Setting the timer for 30 minutes. Right about now. Okay, there is some comic book stuff, but that's kind of in trailers, really. And there was somebody that wrote in about one of those as well, so we'll get to that right at the very end. For now, though, 50 Shades Freed, Ross. I know how much you love this franchise.
Yeah, I couldn't give a fuck.
No?
No.
Well, we're going to talk about it anyway, because it's kicked Jumanji back off the top spot at the box office.
Fucking hell.
Do you know what's going to happen, though, is Jumanji's going to get back on the top spot of the box office, and then that's going to set an all-new record, isn't it, again?
What, for being at the top 3 times?
3 times in a row.
Do you think that's a record?
Probably. It was a record that it went back, wasn't it?
Was it?
Yeah, there was. I'm sure you mentioned it last week.
No, it wasn't a record. It was just we were pushing for it to get to the 1 billion club, which hasn't yet. But 50 Shades got to the top of the box office this week with 38 million as its take on a 55 million budget, and apparently it's the perfect trilogy of dog shit.
Yeah, I've heard it's bullshit.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Absolutely. The premise, basically, it sounds like it's just them like going on holiday for like 70 minutes of the film, and then the last 20 minutes of the film, some stalker turns up, and that's it.
I heard somewhere recently that the original story that was released was actually a fan...
It is fan fiction.
Yeah, fan fiction.
Yeah.
Based on the whole vampire...
It's...
the glittery vampire thing.
Started off as Twilight fan fiction.
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, all they did was they just changed the names for it. That was it.
Yeah.
It was a bit of fan fiction.
Garbage anyway, isn't it?
It is absolute garbage. If you're going to see it, You should be ashamed of yourself. But then again, yeah,
Take your cucumber.
the amount of advertising there is around the place, I'm not surprised that it's done well at the box office, to be fair.
Yeah, they've marketed the
flipping
fuck
everywhere.
out of it, haven't they?
Absolutely. There's some horrible radio
Oh,
adverts.
come in here and just put a cucumber near your bits and
What did it say?
watch the garbage.
There was one radio advert I heard that said, 50 Shades Freed, the only date you need.
Brilliant.
Changing channels. Anyway, yeah.
Have they done 50 Shades of Gay, or is it? Is that the next one? They can't stop the franchise there, are they? If it's going to be doing that well.
Probably going to be one of those spoof movies by the guys that do all the like black versions of things, isn't it?
Probably.
It's got to happen.
50 Shades of Gay.
It might have already happened, actually.
Oh,
did
shit.
they already do one?
What,
I think
50
they did.
Shades of Gay?
I think they did like 50 Shades of Black or something.
Oh, mate, there's definitely a porn parody. We've done this in...
It's got to be a porn parody.
It's
A
not
year
porn parody.
ago. We've done a porn... There is
Don't
a porn
mean a porn parody.
But
there will be, won't there?
Think of a title, and that is a porno.
Yeah.
Whatever you think is clever enough, they've already done it.
Gladiator. That's my favourite one. Anyway. You're welcome.
Yeah, I like that.
Right. Newsflash. DC and Warner Brothers are idiots.
Why are they idiots now?
I was going to say, is that really breaking news?
They're going to hire fucking Michael Bay to direct a Lobo movie. Now, do you guys know who Lobo is?
No, he sounds like a monkey.
No, I know the name. Remind me.
He's like a silvery-skinned bounty hunter from outer space that rides a hoverbike type thing.
So similar,
It's got, like chains.
Oh no, not similar to the Silver Surfer. I know what you mean. Yeah,
He looks a bit more like Jason Momoa, a bit
Right.
kind of like rough and bikery.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michael Bay. I don't know. They've got a script coming from Jason Fuchs. Is that his name? The guy that did the Wonder Woman script.
It's a good name.
It's a good name, isn't it? Yeah, and they are saying, Warner Brothers are saying that it's going to be their answer to Deadpool.
Right.
How is it your answer to Deadpool, DC? This character isn't anywhere near as famous as... You guys don't even know who he is, do you?
It's just... Do you know what? Most Warner Brothers board decision-making meetings are just like Hollywood executives with the biggest bag of cocaine and the DC fucking... The Dorling Kingsley DC Encyclopedia, and it's covered in coke, and there's mates... They're just doing and what about him? Who's he? And there's one little nerd in the corner trying to explain it to him, translating it for him into Hollywood babble, and he's just like, yeah, let's put Lobo in a movie and he'll be the next Deadpool.
Perfect.
Get Michael Bay to direct it and put some tits in it, and get one of them hot women in there, and we'll make a movie with her in it. It'll be the next Deadpool.
Yeah, that Michael Bay. He loves tits, hookers,
Yeah, tits and
coke.
explosions.
He loves coke explosion and titties.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Get him in.
You can only imagine how horrific it's going to be if they try and punt for the same sort of humour as Deadpool. You know what I mean? Lots of innuendo and lots of sexually
let's
naked
get 75 writers. The best thing you can do to write a script is throw bodies at it. Just get 75 in the writer's room. It'll come out gold.
Anywho, they've also announced this Joker solo movie as well. That's supposed to be set in the 80s.
Hang on.
Yeah, go on.
I was going to make a solo movie joke, but I didn't have one. I had the idea, the pip of the idea, the seed was there, and then I was just like,
No.
I didn't formulate the rest of it.
Moving on then.
So, yeah, insert your own joke about the Joker being on the Millennium Falcon with Lando Calrissian.
Bearing in mind then that we've already got a current Joker in the DC universe, why would they be hiring, how do you say his name, Joaquin Phoenix?
God,
You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, but again, I
The
have no
Emperor
clue
and
why.
Gladiator.
You'd stick with...
Jared Leto.
I don't know why you would... Yeah.
I'd stick with Jared Leto. I
Yeah.
don't think he did a bad job.
No, you just got to stick to it, haven't you? I mean, yeah. But
So, yeah, and this film is supposed to be set in the 80s, which is obviously, 30 years earlier, potentially. And
they've got to be careful, because wasn't the 89 Batman set in
Oh, yeah, but
that period?
that's not in this same universe.
Right, okay.
Or is it? There are arguments to suggest that it is.
And if so, you've got that... I mean, that's played by an incredible actor.
What,
And
the Joker?
and played incredibly well.
Jack Nicholson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, what were you just saying about the when it's set?
Oh, it's set in the 80s, potentially 30 years before Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And they're hiring Joaquin Phoenix to play the Joker.
Right, okay.
Obviously, he's a lot
But they're not
older
all
than-
interlinked, are they?
Even so, is it not a bit weird?
And anyway, it might be the 80s in Batman, but Gotham City's permanently stuck in 1930, isn't it?
I suppose.
Yeah. 20s, maybe.
Spiritually.
I think it's weird. I'd like to see him as the Joker, but I'd have liked to have seen him in the Joker, I don't know, before all this extended universe business started
It's
out.
all bollocks.
It is.
I'm sorry. Even Adam's not here to at least give you some retort in the other direction, but we're just like, it's bollocks.
Okay, on the plus side then, Tommy Wiseau has said that he'd like to play the Joker.
I'd love to see that.
That's perfect, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's spot on.
Hi, Batman.
Exactly.
That'd be amazing.
There we go. Anyway, right. Todd Phillips is directing and Martin Scorsese is producing that movie when it appears, if it appears at some point.
I bet Martin Scorsese is the first person to fall off that movie's schedule.
Well, I don't know. He's only in production. It's just the money, isn't it?
Yeah.
Basically. It's just fronting the money. Anyway, right, James Bobbin is going to be directing an Action Man movie.
Oh, Christ.
You may say...
How is that? Action Man's just big G.I. Joe. It's just
You've
a
got
large
G.I.
G.I. Joe, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, Hasbro have given over the rights to the franchise
Right.
to Paramount, and James Bobbin is going to be in the director's chair to take on the Toy Lines film adaptation. So whether or not that means that you'll end up with a G.I. Joe and Action Man crossover, or... they could go down the Lego route and a stop frame animation type thing.
They may
with
treat
Action
it
Man.
as like a sort of prequel. So
Maybe.
like, because G.I. Joe was a squad, wasn't it? A team. So maybe they're looking at the original
G.I. Joe
Action
was the bloke.
Man. G.I. Joe was originally a bloke, but when they rebranded it all for the 3 3/4 inch figures,
Right.
it became G.I. Joe was a squad.
Okay.
So maybe they're going to go take it... The whole squad idea was inspired by the actions of one soldier back in the day.
Yeah.
And then, like the first, you've heard the story of the first SAS, and it was an elite squad that they put together and all this business, and then it grew from there, and then it's become the SAS of today.
Right.
So it could be G.I. Joe was
Is
inspired.
that not a bit deep for this?
Well, not really. I don't think so. I'm sure if they got Michael Bay on board...
It's not Michael Bay.
Is it not? Oh.
No, it's James Bobbin.
So what else has he done?
Oh, he did the Muppets. That's what he
Oh,
did.
right, yes, it's going to be proper deep.
Paul, before I don't want to derail this podcast hugely, but Action Force
Yeah.
is G.I. Joe, isn't it?
Yeah, technically. It's the British G.I. Joe. Yeah.
Action Man is Action Force is G.I. Joe in my mind.
Yeah.
But hang on, were there toys that were Action Force only?
I know what you're saying. Yes,
There
were.
were small like army soldiers
Yeah.
that weren't all the fucking. They were just like SAS man.
Yeah, they were Palatoy ones.
And they were and
But
they
you
weren't
still
as
had like
they
Snake
didn't-
Eyes and stuff.
No,
That was
they
Action
didn't
Man.
have.
Well,
they didn't have
eventually
the
did.
same level of articulation, did they?
No. They were more like the Star
But
Wars articulation.
they looked more like Action Man than they
Yeah.
were just like Royal Marine Commando.
Yeah.
Ah, right, okay.
Yeah,
I do remember those.
I had
now you
some
say
of
that.
those.
Yeah. So that's all garbage.
So there
anyway,
you go.
Game of Thrones creators, Dan
Right.
and Dave,
What have they done?
they're going to be doing a Star Wars trilogy.
Did we not talk about
Shit.
this?
No.
No, okay.
Really?
Yeah. I quite like the
Ooh.
idea of that.
Yeah.
Because it's going to run alongside what's-his-face's, Ryan Johnson's trilogy. So his will be an extension of the continuing universe, I suppose, the continuing storyline,
Right.
and theirs will be other. So
Okay.
what do you reckon it could be, Ross?
No idea.
So we're talking maybe extended
Oh,
universe.
just fucking go off and do like the underbelly of Star Wars.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're doing.
What do you mean by the underbelly?
You know, like the wretched hives of scum and villainy. Because that's
Ooh, they do
the
that
cool
quite
stuff
well.
about Star Wars, isn't
They
it?
do Wretched Scum quite
No,
well,
we
don't
don't
they?
care about the rebels and the Empire. Just fucking give us bounty hunters and
I think
thievery
that's- yeah.
and stuff.
That's what it'll be. The underworld of...
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
That would work, yeah.
Do you think we'll get
In
that Boba
in-
Fett movie from them then?
in Star Wars Imperial Assault, which is that fancy board game that I've got has got expansions and everything. You have the rebels and the Empire, and then there's another faction just called Scum,
Oh, really?
and it's like Boba Fett's not. So he just comes under Scum.
Right.
They don't even call it villainy. It's
Bounty
just
hunters
Scum.
and dropouts.
Yeah, like there's a whole one of the expansions is based around you having to do shit with Jabba the Hutt and stuff.
Right.
And I think the end boss is like a Rancor.
I admire Star Wars. I respect Star Wars. I'm not pulled into the Star Wars universe. Although, if they did go down the whole underworld, villainy, dirty, seedy, new underworld, under characters.
Mate, I just want them to
I'd
start
watch- I'd
doing
be-
things like just
that would pull
remake
me in.
The Good, the Bad and Ugly with Boba Fett.
Yeah,
Give
see,
Boba
that
Fett
would work.
Poncho,
Yeah,
mate.
yeah, that would work. I'd be pulled right into that. I'd be watching that. So, yeah, fingers
And
crossed.
then Dengar could play the ugly, couldn't he?
Yeah.
So potentially what this could mean then is like 2 Star Wars films a year, or at least 1 a year from now on, and a TV series as well coming, right?
Just give the fucking Game of Thrones guys a TV series.
Yeah.
That's what I'd have said.
Yeah.
Just give them the TV series. Give them the long form stuff so they can write Machiavellian stuff between Jabba the Hutt and Dengar.
Yeah.
This said, though, they don't actually... They sort of convert the stuff that they're doing, don't they, for Game of Thrones? They're not actually writing it. And Season 7 is the first time that they've been out on their own, really, writing stuff, because George R.R. Martin wasn't actually there to oversee it. And does that not show? Can you see the cracks? Because I can.
No, I think they're just rushing it a little bit.
Do you think
I think
that's what
they're
it
probably
is?
getting whipped by HBO more than they want to.
Maybe. Who knows? Time will... I tell you what, not time. Star Wars will tell, won't it?
There's going to be a weird long break, isn't there, between Star Wars movies now? Because it's going to be May till Christmas.
May this year until Christmas this year.
No, till Christmas next year.
Next year. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. It's all right. You've got Mary Poppins, mate. You'll be okay.
Sherry Bobbins.
You'll be fine. Right. The world of streaming services is getting a bit more convoluted. What's the word? Crowded. That's the word.
Crowded.
Because Apple are going for it as well now. Do you know this?
Yeah.
No.
No?
Mm.
So they're
Pulls
launching... Well,
It's the
He's still
HomePod
fuming
thing,
about
innit?
his fucking stand on his MacBook.
Oh, yeah,
on
the
his
bastards.
iMac.
stand on his
Fucking-
MacBook. What?
he's-
Oh,
Oh,
this
he's-
is the new. I'll try and tell it as briefly as possible. The new iMac, they've got a little fancy stand, and you can just touch it, and it tilts wherever you want and holds position. It's very nice. It would have been if they hadn't replaced the fixings with plastic ones, as opposed to what they had was cast aluminium in the previous one. So all these fancy new Macs that people are splashing $2,000 out on now have plastic fittings in, and the only way to replace them is to pull the entire machine apart, take everything out piece by piece, just replace these fucking plastic pieces. They're just plastic washers.
So it just fell to pieces, basically.
Yeah. It's you. So
Just
yeah,
turn to dust in your hands.
just
Gone.
like that. So
Oh, dear. That's not good. This
an
is why I got a Mac
expensive
Mini, you
fart.
see.
yeah, you've done much. Yeah, done the right thing.
Yeah.
Well, maybe just not get a Mac. I'm thinking I'm going to build. Was it now? What do they call it now?
A Raspberry Pi.
Pack a Mac or something.
Pack a Mac?
Yeah, it's build a PC and install OS on it.
I tell you what, I've got like 3 Macs around here. 2 of them I don't want. We could play Whack-A-Mac.
Whack it! No, fuck me. Yeah, give me a mallet.
I've got an old what is it, a G2, and
Fucking
I
hell,
think, and
that
a
is
G4.
Jeez.
It's like very boxy.
Wow.
It looks like a big box.
There's probably collectors out there for that, mate.
Yeah, there probably are. If you're interested,
Yeah,
drop us a
anyone,
line.
right, yeah.
snewwiththecrew@gmail.com.
Sorry, we've gone off topic.
We
Right,
have.
Go on, Mac.
Right.
They're Apple. Are
What we're
in on
doing?
it.
Oh, yeah, Apple. So originally they were releasing other people's properties and stuff through like iTunes,
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But they are hiring people to create their own series. Stephen Knight is doing a science fiction one for them, and La La Land's Damien Chazelle is also creating a show that we don't know any details about yet. Oh, and Sky, they're doing one as well. So whether or not aren't Sky owned by Disney now?
Well, Sky have one anyway. What, you mean Sky are going to do their own original content?
Yeah.
Because you got Now TV anyway. You can basically pay for Sky by just having it on the internet now.
Right. So yeah, Sky are starting to produce their own original content as well.
Sky are getting rid of all the satellites, aren't they?
Are they?
Yeah, they're within. I think it's by 2020. It was on the news this week. I think they're hoping to just be completely internet based.
Oh, right. Okay.
The satellite dish is going to be obsolete.
Think how much money that must save them in satellite.
Absolutely, yeah.
It's a fortune.
Thought it might be part of the Cleaner Skies initiative. Maybe we haven't got there yet.
Possibly.
One for the future. What about Men in Black? You
What
wear
is
a
it?
lot of black, Paul.
I do.
Yeah,
Oh,
but more in the Johnny Cash Man in Black.
Yeah, I ain't
Men
got.
in Black.
Yeah, I ain't got that little zapper thing to wipe everybody's
That's a
memories
shame, isn't it?
of how offensive I've been. No, what are they up to now?
They're going to relaunch it with the guy that directed Straight Outta Compton and The Fate of the Furious,
Right.
F. Gary Gray.
So maybe a bit darker and less
Don't know.
Will Smith.
Still going to be Men in Black, but no Will Smith, definitely. We know that. I quite like the first one. Third one was awful. Second one was mediocre.
There's a third one.
Yeah. I went and saw it at the cinema, unfortunately.
I wasn't keen on the first one, and then I saw Wiki Wiki Wild West, and I had no
Ugh.
intention of watching anything Will Smith ever again.
Yeah, well, it's not a good representation of
No.
anything he's ever done, is it?
No,
It's not his fault. He's actually a very good actor.
agreed.
Yeah,
he didn't
he's
have to do the movie.
good in The Pursuit of Happiness, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Was he any good as
Those sort of
Ali?
thing.
Yes,
he's
he
really
was.
good as Artie.
Was he?
Yeah.
And what was the other one I saw about the doctor trying to prove a connection between head trauma and American football?
Don't know.
Whiplash.
yeah.
Was it called Whiplash?
No,
Or is
No,
No, that's the
Whiplash
drumming
is the drumming
one,
one, isn't it?
Have
you
you
got
know?
good reviews, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
I can't remember what it's called, but yeah. Oh, is it just called trauma? Is it called head trauma? Is it called concussion? I think it might
Head
be.
trauma's probably what you'd refer to the Men in Black trilogy. So,
Yeah, maybe.
yeah.
Okay, speaking of which, Jim Parsons, we all like him, don't we? Ross loves Jim Parsons.
Oh, is it that twat?
It's the guy that plays...
Oh, he's all right. He's just
Sheldon
because he's
Cooper.
like really good in Hidden Figures.
He is, yeah.
But he's just in the worst TV show ever made.
Wow,
After
that's-
Lost.
That's a matter of opinion.
It's not.
I think.
It's a matter of fact.
Well, I don't think so. Because Lost had, like, nothing going for it from the start, really, did it?
Yep.
And
No, season 1's really good.
Well, yeah, do you think?
Yep.
I dropped out during season 1, but there you go. Anyway, Jim Parsons is going to be in the Ted Bundy movie. That'll interest you guys. Like a bit of Ted Bundy, don't you?
Interest Paul more.
Who's playing Ted Bundy?
Ted Bundy is going to be played by... Zac Efron is going to be playing
Zac Efron, I
Ted
know
Bundy.
that name.
Really?
What's he
Yeah.
been in? Do you know him, Ross?
He's in Baywatch.
He's the young bloke, yeah?
Yeah.
That would work then, to a point.
Quite a hot
yeah.
young bloke.
That would make sense.
Isn't he from something like High School Musical, isn't he?
Oh, yeah. That rings a bell. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know.
That would make sense. And it'd be a nice new direction for someone.
Bit of a
well,
serious movie.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
it would have to be, I think, wouldn't it? You couldn't, couldn't do a comedy.
It's not the cheeriest of topics.
No, absolutely. For if you don't know at home, he's a serial killer. Old Ted Bundy.
One of the most notorious, yeah.
Yeah, apparently it's going to concentrate on Ted Bundy's wife, who spent absolutely years in denial about Ted Bundy's murders and eventually turned him into the police. But she wasn't actually aware of the extent of how many people he'd killed and stuff. And
I don't think anybody was. And right, he was doing confessions right until, I think, 12 hours before he died.
Right.
Before they
And
executed
he
him.
never got them all out.
And he was still saying, "Oh, is this one? Is this one? Oh, this one I buried her head up the road, 50 yards up there."
He's not the guy that just pickled everyone, is he?
No.
No, this
That
was
was
the guy. It was
he
Silence
posed-
for Lambs. You know, when he's I've broke my arm. Can you help me into the van, please?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He'd do all that shit.
Yeah.
And
And
he'd
he'd
approach
also
people as a salesman at their door and stuff like
Yeah,
that as well.
he'd-
All sorts of different
He
techniques.
poses like a teacher or a professor or something at a
Does
a
he
dorm, and you just walk in and just annihilate.
did
the
he
whole dorm of
tuck
girls.
his cock between his legs and dance in
He may have done
a
but
suit made of women?
I wouldn't put. I think
Goodbye
he tried
Horses.
everything, mate. I think that was almost the Ed Gein angle, wasn't it? The whole Goodbye Horses thing. That was more Ed Gein.
So good. That track is it's fantastic for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
And it's just in Grand Theft Auto 4, and like every time it comes on and you're driving around in Grand Theft Auto 4, you can't carry on with the mission.
I don't
You
know
just have
how-
to
Which
cruise
track
around
is it,
listen.
sorry?
You know the bit in Silence of the Lambs where he's like, "You don't want to fuck me,"
Is
and
it
he's
what they
like
call-
dancing to himself in the mirror, like
What's it?
and,
What do they call it? Something Lazarus, isn't it?
Yeah,
I'll have to look it up.
and
It's amazing. It sounds. It's got that creepy tape warble sound through the entire track as well, hasn't it? It's almost. I don't know how they. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think they went for that, but it just have this creepy, wobbly tape sort of.
Right.
It's
Just
fucked.
stuck an effect on somewhere and went, oh, that sounds... Wow, this is going to be in a murder movie, isn't it?
Dennis, you forgot to take that off. Oh fuck, it's too late now. Release it, and it's just creepy as fuck.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll go and have a look. I'm sure I've seen a Ted Bundy movie at some point.
there was one
Yeah?
years ago. I think it was more of a TV documentary. One of those.
There was a movie.
A movie.
Like a...
I think it was more of a TV
dramatised
movie.
one,
Yeah.
but...
there's a Wayne
I'll have to look
Gacy
it up.
one, isn't there?
Wait,
with
that's
the
actually
guy
really good.
who's plays the baddie in Rambo.
Yeah, To Catch a Killer. That's actually really good.
To Catch a Killer.
To
Is that what
Catch
it's
Because he
a
was
Killer.
the clown one when he
Yeah.
murdered kids.
Yeah, and that's a really. Yeah, he plays that part really well.
Oh, that's the name of another murderer, is it?
Yeah, Wayne Gacy. Yeah,
Wayne Gacy,
that's, another scary one. Yeah.
Ah, that way. All things to be looking up, because I like that sort of thing. Oh, you said you've been watching,
Mindhunter.
Mindhunter. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that in the other podcast.
Yeah.
Awesome. In related news, Matt Smith is going to be playing bloody Charles Manson in Charlie Says, which is a bit weird.
I heard of this.
Matt Smith
yeah.
as in Doctor Who.
That's going to be weird.
It is very
And
strange.
that's going to be a very difficult part to pull off properly. I mean, if you've ever seen interviews, it's all serial killers this week, isn't it?
Well, there's a couple.
Yeah, I don't know if you've seen any interviews with Charlie Manson, but he's notoriously rather intense.
I reckon he's going to be in the next season of Manhunter. They're
That
kind
could
of
be
building up to that, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, They'll find somebody to play him for the next season.
Oh, well, didn't they imply... They've already caught him, haven't they?
Yeah, he's just been caught in the show.
He's been caught in the show, so that's sort of it, isn't it? They're not going to catch him. And he didn't interview too much.
I suppose the indicator would be whether or not the guy that the show is based on did any interviews with him in real life.
He may have done. There probably wasn't many, though, because he's notoriously difficult.
Right.
If you could get something
Bit of a
out
diva.
of it, big time.
Yeah, there we go. But yeah, if you like Doctor Who and you like Matt Smith, well, you might like this movie, possibly. It's going to be directed by the woman that directed American Psycho.
Right.
Which I bloody love.
I love American Psycho, but...
Have you read the book?
Yeah.
Bret Easton Ellis.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, that guy's a bloody good writer.
Yeah.
I don't like Phil Collins, mate. I hate that film.
Do you like Phil Collins? Was it the
Do you like
Sorry.
Huey Lewis in the news?
He's too black sounding for me.
I can't quote
I
it.
do like the line,
but-
don't just look at it, eat it.
Yeah. Don't just stare at it, eat it.
Dwayne Johnson. He's already been in the news once today, but he can be in it again. That's fine.
He's always in the news, mate.
Yeah,
he is.
Because he's Dwayne
is
the
the
Rock
news.
Johnson.
He is the news.
He's just signed on for another movie, which is going to be directed and written or adapted. I think it's Tom Clancy novel originally, possibly. That's the only other story by this name that I could find online. It's called Red Notice, and it's apparently Red Notice is the highest and most serious of 8 Interpol notices, and it's issued on the arrest of a wanted criminal. But it's supposed to be an action comedy.
Action comedy?
Yeah, well, it is The Rock.
He does both of those things
He does.
excellently.
I just thought the Tom Clancy thing, I wouldn't have thought so much comedy, but...
There you go. But the studio who have taken control of this, who I have not written down because I'm a numpty, have basically just been in a massive bidding war for this one because Dwayne The Rock Johnson had already signed on for it with the director, and they said, yeah, we come as part of the package with this story, and they've been involved in one of the biggest bidding wars in Hollywood history, apparently.
Wow.
Already pushing the budget for the movie above $125 million. Dwayne The Rock Johnson taking a $20 million payday for it.
Here you go. You can cut this into the podcast whenever you like.
Go on.
20th Century Fox, Sony Pictures, Paramount Pictures, Warner Brothers, New Line Cinema.
Why?
Because you forgot the name of the studio. That
Oh, I see. Brilliant.
Metro Goodwin Mayer.
Fair enough. I will do that, Ross. I won't. I'll just leave this in the podcast. That was quite
Fire
humorous.
call.
That might even make it into the best of this year. Who knows?
Thames Valley.
I can't even remember how it goes.
Granada. To Thames just became Meridian, didn't it?
Don't know.
Yeah.
Shame.
Anyway, in related news,
Regional news.
Atomic Blonde's David Leitch. Is it Leitch? Leitch? Who knows?
Lachey.
He's he's going to be doing the Fast and Furious spin-off. Ross, that'll probably.
Well, the Rock.
Yeah.
The Rock in a car.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yes.
And a Jumanji sequel has just hit the script stage as well, with writers Scott Rosenberg and Jeff Pinker, which is the guys that wrote the one that's just been released. Welcome to the Jungle.
Good film, that.
It's a good film, that, isn't it, Ross?
Yeah, it's good. It's fun.
Yeah, you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I didn't mean to yawn over it.
Sorry, I'm cutting it out. So don't.
Ross was
Don't
giving
reference
my
it.
opinion.
I'll have to leave all that in now. That would be the snooze button.
We're all right for time, aren't we? It's only 6:30.
Yeah. Right. Okay. Quick couple of things.
Doesn't
then.
mean you can spend 45 minutes on logos and 17
Oh, come
minutes on
on.
fonts.
Quick couple of bits to wrap up. Joel Kinnaman has joined the Hannah TV series. Did you guys see Hannah?
What, the movie, the film?
Yeah.
No, I've always been interested to watch it, and then I've never got around to it.
I like it, but it wasn't particularly well pulled off. The premise, the idea is very good. It's like a guy he's like special forces, ex-special forces, and he raises his daughter in the wild.
Bit like Leon.
A little bit like Leon,
That
yeah.
sort of thing.
And yeah, she's a badass. And she goes on a revenge mission after her dad is like tracked down and killed. It's good.
Thanks
Be
for
interesting.
spoiling it.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's just the build-up.
That's only the first act, isn't
Yeah,
it?
exactly, yeah. Conan
Oh,
the
he only
Barbarian.
scored 33% reoccurring of that movie.
Brilliant. Conan the Barbarian TV series. Would you be interested?
I just think it's gonna be I just think it's gonna be Hercules.
No, because the world's changed since Hercules.
I know,
Game of Thrones
but-
has happened.
Ooh, that reminds me, actually. The Masters of the Universe lost its directors today. Its
Did
director
it?
today, yeah. I've not put that in the news, but yeah, that happened.
Oh, crikey.
I'll find out some more about that for next week, but
He-Man.
What, lost as in he walked, or lost as in he's
don't
keeled
know.
over?
Don't know. Oh, he's not died.
Right, okay.
He's just not doing it.
Or he just went AWOL. Who went AWOL recently?
Oh, God,
What, a director?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a dodgy one, though, wasn't it? He-
Yeah, it was the guy that was directing...
Oh, fuck, who directed X-Men?
yeah, that's right, yeah. And
Not Singer.
it was Bryan Singer. Yeah, he was
Right.
he was directing
getting muddled up.
Bohemian Rhapsody, wasn't he?
Has
And
he
just
turned up again?
disappeared.
Oh, he did. Is this...
Somebody else took over Bohemian Rhapsody.
He just got sacked, basically, because he went on holiday and never came back.
Who's the guy who...
Which would happen
recently-
to a normal person in a normal job.
the British... Oh, no, it was... No, I'm getting it all mixed up. It was a football manager who got up and walked out recently. I thought it... got it mixed up.
In football news,
Yeah, football news.
who was that?
Oh, just some manager. He got up and walked out. Turned out had a complete breakdown, and they found him roaming some country.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
is this kind of like in his slippers?
I drove to
naked?
Glasgow with
yeah.
nothing
Right.
on my feet.
Poor bloke.
Was eating Toblerone. Off he. Yeah, anyway, I thought it could be movie news, but it all blurred into one in my head.
Fair dinks.
That happens a lot.
That's some news that's just
It
came out
wasn't-
today as well.
What's that?
There's going to be a new Alan Partridge, isn't there?
Oh, is
what
there?
new movie?
There's going to be a new series on BBC One.
Brilliant.
So they're doing the thing where he's just hit it. Like I'm imagining that he's hit it big time.
Big time. So he's got a
And
new
so now
show.
he's got the replacement for the One show on BBC One.
That would be
That's the
amazing.
premise.
I saw him on the One show a little while ago. Perhaps
As
that's what he was.
Partridge?
No, it was just as himself. Maybe that's what he was doing on there. What's
Bit
the
of
word?
research.
Bit of research, yeah.
Ha-ha!
Any idea when that's coming, Ross?
No idea. Sorry, I only skimmed the.
Cool.
Look, I posted an article on our group earlier, and I didn't even fucking read it. I just went, "They're making the Star Wars." It wasn't. It was just some fan trade. Like somebody had just gone, "No, they need to make the Old Republic," and I was like, "Yes, they do." And then I didn't even read it. And then Adam was like, "Some nerd just posted that," and I'm like, "Sorry."
Oh, it was something to do with R-rated Old Republic stuff, wasn't it? They wanted to make a...
It doesn't need to be R-rated.
It doesn't
because
need to
it's
be
bloody Jedi's against Sith to start with. It's literally good against evil,
right,
so it can
Ross.
just be
No,
PG-13
all right, Jesus Christ.
or 12A.
He gets very passionate about his Star Wars, doesn't he? Blimey.
Stop getting Star Wars wrong.
Jordan Peele, the director of Get Out, is considering a sequel for Get Out.
Yeah, I
Get
don't
outta
know
here.
how I
He
feel
is.
about that.
No?
No,
Do you not
it's
like that movie?
It's like The Descent. As much as you wanted a sequel, it definitely didn't need one either.
It wasn't that good, was it?
It's okay. but-
Yeah. Although it's unusual for a... Do you know... Have you seen Get Out, Paul?
No, I was just trying to place it just now.
Okay. It's very good comedy horror about a guy who's dating... He's a black guy dating a white girl. And she invites him to...
You just don't tell him. Just Paul, watch it. It's fucking amazing.
You recommended it to me a little
Yeah, it's
while
like
back. I didn't
a
get
lot
round
of
to
people gave
yeah.
it their film of the year last year.
It's been Oscar nominated, and that's really unusual for a
You
horror.
and Abby will love it. Watch it. It's brilliant.
I'll give it a go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's invited to go and meet the family. That's
Cool.
it. That's all you need to know. It's
Sorry.
very good.
Yep, cool.
Has anyone watched the new Cloverfield while we're just...
Yes.
Oh, we talk about it in our other podcast.
I'm
right?
still looking for 2 and 3.
One and two.
Well, is it one? No, I found one. Is this the fourth one?
This is
one?
the third one.
Oh, right, I'm still looking for 2.
What, so 10 Cloverfield Lane?
Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, I'll look for
That
it.
would be
'cause
why
it's not on
you're
Netflix.
searching Cloverfield 2, are you?
Yeah.
Anyway, Incredibles 2, we'll get a special look at it this week, apparently, during the Winter Olympics. They're doing a preview. I don't know whereabouts during the Olympics, but look out for it if you're watching.
What
I
is it again?
suppose.
Sorry,
Incredibles 2.
Do you know, I think I've slipped into a alternate universe. I could have swore that was already done.
No, that was Fantastic Four.
Right.
Not so Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
3 times over. Anyway, but also at the Olympics, apparently the US Olympians are wearing Marvel superhero-inspired suits. Do you not think that's a bit weird? I
Yeah.
think it's a bit weird.
Bit weird.
Anyway, perhaps it's like one of those kind of psychological things. You know,
Could be.
makes you feel like a superhero, and everyone else thinks, "Fuck me, they're superheroes. We're never going to beat them." No?
I don't think
Oh,
there's
I
that
don't
much
know.
in it.
They always go well over the top with their stuff like that,
Yeah.
but they get different companies sponsor the gear, don't they? And make the outfits for that year and stuff. Like Burton quite often do the.
So Marvel
snowboarding
sponsored
gear.
them then, do you think?
Don't know.
I mean, it's just
It'd
a
be
case
sensible.
of
Good advertising.
I mean, it's just a case. If you look good in spandex, then go for it.
Yeah.
Well, the
True.
thingy, Paul McCartney's daughter, what's her name?
It begins with S, doesn't it?
But yeah, she designed the London
Stella.
2012 stuff.
Stella.
McCartney.
Yeah.
She designed the London 2012 stuff.
Ah.
The Team GB London 2012 shit.
Was it cool?
Yeah.
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 Of course it was. It's British. Anyway, right. Dr. Dolittle. I know how much you love that, Paul. You love a bit of Dolittle.
Yeah.
He talks to the animals.
Michael Sheen and Antonio Banderas are going to be in the new Dr. Dolittle
Do you
movie.
know, I was wondering where he'd got to.
He's disappeared off them.
Antonio
He
Banderas.
did a cat, didn't he, at some point?
He played the cat. Yeah, it was just yeah. It was Evita, a cat, and that was it. He'd fucked off.
Zorro.
He
Didn't
did a bit of Zorro.
Oh, and
Oh, mate, he's fucking brilliant in Desperado,
Desperado.
though. Isn't he?
And what's Once Upon a Time in the West, is it? Is that what the third one was called?
Oh yeah.
It was, wasn't it? Once Upon a Time in
But
the
then
West?
he just
So-
disappeared. There was nothing.
Is there a follow-up to... there's like 3 parts to El Mariachi.
El Mariachi, Desperado, and Once Upon a Time in the West. But
But El Mariachi's like saying there's...
Desperado
that
is like a remake
Yeah,
of
it's
El
like
Mariachi.
Evil Dead 1 and 2, isn't it?
Yeah.
Which, again, directed by the same director, isn't
Yeah.
it?
Yeah.
He
same
likes
thing.
to just remake the movies. And Thingy does as
Oh,
well,
no, it's
doesn't
not
he?
the same director that did The Evil Dead. It's the same director.
No, Sam Raimi.
Sam Raimi did The Evil Dead.
Sam
And-
Raimi directed Desperado, I'm sure he did.
No, it was the guy that did the second half of Dusk Till Dawn.
While we're on the subject of Evil Dead, I watched an interview with Bruce Campbell this week, and
Did he have a massive jaw?
he did, and he explained that Evil Dead 2 is not a remake; it's a continuation.
It's not, though, is it?
It is, because he actually shows you. There's a. I'll try and find the clip. It's brilliant.
Find the clip, post it on a page.
Yeah, and there's a part where the first film links perfectly straight in with the second film, but you
you
the
know,
move-
immediately after the tree rape and the cutting off of the hand, and the bridge not being there.
yeah, well, something like there is. It's shot for shot, and it flows perfectly. If you did a
Right.
fan edit, it was, and he said, "This is how we intended it to be." But the people
They sort of intersect at some point and then go past each other on their...
no, basically the
Continuing
beginning
Someone
of
storylines.
fucked up Scalextric's track with a little crossover bit in the middle.
there's a whole section at the beginning that they were contractually obliged to put in for the production house,
Right.
because they wanted it to appear to be a remake, but they
Right.
said no, we wanted to do it as a full continuation, and they said no, you've got to do this. So he said we wrote it so it's bang. As soon as if you cut that section out, it just flows seamlessly straight into it, and he does. It shows you. It's on YouTube. It's
I
fantastic.
can't stand that fucking thing down in the basement. It's horrible, isn't it? Ugh.
Which one? The
creepy
grandmother or
grandmother
yeah.
fucking witch thing.
While we're talking about horror, a horror movie to look forward to in the summer this year, apparently this generation's Exorcist,
Right.
like it's that powerful,
Yeah.
is Hereditary. It's called.
Hereditary.
Yeah. Apparently it's absolutely, well, just horrendous. Like, people coming out of the cinema, like, praying and in tears and stuff. And,
Shit.
like, yeah. Unlike any
existential
other
crisis.
horror film that you've ever seen before.
Shit.
There's a trailer out for it, actually. I will stick that on our Facebook page.
Cool.
Robert Rodriguez, that was the director we were
Yeah.
talking about. That's the one.
That's a weird brain fart to have, wouldn't it? I think Sam Raimi and Robert Rodriguez are the same person. Because all I know is they make films.
While we're talking about trailers, Venom, that got a trailer this week. Did you guys see the trailer for that?
Nope. Good.
No.
Oh.
It's fucking weird. Right, if you were going to make a Venom trailer, what would you want to show in that trailer?
Eddie Brock getting the symbiote on him and turning into Venom.
Maybe a bit of Venom, right?
A bit of Venom, yeah. Not too much, but just keep the teaser and keep it focused on the main character.
Not a single shot of Venom in
Okay.
the trailer.
Nothing.
Do you know why?
Spoilers?
No, because
It's too early. They've not done the CG yet.
all of Venom's going to be done in post, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
And so they haven't fucking done it yet.
And they're so desperate to get a trailer out because everybody else has got their trailers out this week, but they're not releasing the film till October. It's just, why bother?
Yeah.
Why do it? You know, the only thing that you can see is like, I think it's like a minute and 16 seconds into the trailer. He's in like this...
he says.
I
Like he
think so,
doesn't fucking know.
And it's him in like a CT scanner. And I don't know if they're scanning him for kidney stones or something, but at some point or another...
Or alien
you
symbiotes.
can just see a little tiny finger of something appear from behind his neck, and that's it.
Right.
And then there's like a shot of him going down the street on a motorbike and 2 cars just flipping in the air for just no apparent reason. Like, there could be something there that they put in post, but
you ain't
why
seen
would
it.
you put together
why
this
would you do
trailer?
that?
Is it it's clearly labelled teaser, isn't it?
No, it's like a 2-minute trailer.
That's weird, isn't it?
It's very strange. We got a comment about it on the SNEW with the Crew page, actually, from Richard Haven, or possibly Heaven.
Well, if it's got an A first, then it's Haven, isn't it?
Okay, Richard Heaven then.
Yeah.
So we got a comment about it from
Who's
Richard
Richard
Heaven.
Heaven?
He's some guy that commented on our Facebook page about the movie.
What, like,
About the
have we
trailer.
literally got people listening to our podcast that we don't know now?
Yeah,
Shit.
Fucking hell.
which is pretty cool. Hi, Richard, if you're listening.
Hi, sorry, I swear lots.
He says he's into it.
It's been a long
Obviously
week.
not much to go on, but he thinks Hardy's a good choice and the vibe works. Bit bored of seeing 2 FBI-esque black cars stacking it, though. It's a visual that's been done to death. It would be scarier if it was subtle and played on paranoia a bit. Well, it would be nicer if there was something in there to bloody grasp hold of, other than Tom Hardy's in it. He sells movies.
He's not really a baddie, is he?
What, Venom?
Yeah.
He's an anti-hero, isn't he?
He's a bit more like the Punisher. I bet he teams up with the Punisher, doesn't he?
Don't know.
Bet that's happened.
We'll ask Adam about that next week. If you know at home, you can always write into us. Let us know. You can, do what Richard's done and post on our Facebook page, or drop us an email, snewwiththecrew@gmail.com or podcast@snewnetwork.com.
Thanks to Richard, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for that, Rich.
Yeah.
If you feel like dropping us a line again, please do so. Right, other trailers. The Titan, Sam Worthington's new movie, which looks quite interesting.
Right.
Bit like kind of like the Fly 2-esque feel to it, where Earth's resources are running out, basically, and they want to send humans to live on another planet. I assume perhaps Titan. And they start genetically modifying human beings. And Sam Worthington is one of them. And they go a bit weird and start doing alien stuff and being a bit, violent.
Could be interesting.
Yeah, looks all right.
Yeah.
Looks quite cool. The trailer's there on our Facebook page. Go and have a look. Jessica Jones, Season 2.
No one cares.
No?
Not this end of the room,
Yeah.
they don't.
No, I'm up for that. What have we got?
Did you see Jessica Jones 1?
Yeah.
You did?
Yeah, really enjoyed
So,
it.
more of a origin story by the looks of it.
Oh, I hate it when they do that.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm glad that they didn't do it in the first season, though, to be honest.
They sort of hinted enough at the first season. They gave you enough background for you to know what was going on and what she'd been through, and that's all you need to know, really.
Yeah. Maybe, but it's not like, the Purple Man didn't give her powers, did he? There was something else that happened before that.
Yeah, was that his genuine name, Purple Man?
Yeah, I think so.
Fucking hell. Marvel are really scraping the barrel now, aren't they?
Well, it's not their fault they gave him a shit name back in the 60s, is it? It was the
Purple
60s. They were all high,
Yeah.
and having sex with each other.
Yeah.
Deadpool 2, there's a trailer for that as well. Did you see that?
Nope.
Not as funny as the last one, in my opinion.
Nope.
But still humorous. Go and watch it. It's got like, it introduces Cable, and then he comes into shot, and the CG's not finished on his arm, and Deadpool's like, hey, and sort of blames some off-the-screen person for not finishing the CG in time.
Cool.
And while he's waiting for that person to do the CG, does like a little kind of... He's got a Cable figure and a Deadpool figure.
And he
does
acts it out.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
I just think that's Ryan Reynolds just being Ryan Reynolds at this point, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, have you seen the
It's good.
picture of him drawing Cable and he's just drawn him as Josh Brolin from the Goonies?
No.
And then when actually you think about it, like Ryan Reynolds is probably about our age, isn't he? And
Yeah.
actually probably grew up as Josh Brolin as he is from the Goonies.
Yeah, true.
And now they're in a movie together.
I'm looking forward to it. There you go. Right, that's it for trailers, I think. And that's it for this
That's
show.
it for this show.
Let's go and record another one.
Do we have to, Dad?
You can find... Yes, we do. We can find all of our links to all of our personal stuff, if you want to, on our Facebook page.
Yeah.
Links to all of our shows. Do, as we say, write into us if you want to. Let us know about anything at all. snewwiththecrew@gmail.com, podcast at Snew Network. Tweet at us, at Snew with the Crew.
All that.
Honourable mention to Libsyn and Sticher as well.
Well, those guys. I mean, it goes without saying, doesn't it? I know we have to say it, but it goes without saying.
Who are off trying to find a new director for Masters of the Universe as we speak, I'm sure.
They're doing that. They were in that car that was put into space.
Yeah.
This week. That
was the coolest shit ever. That was them. That was just the coolest shit that's happened this week, isn't it?
Yeah.
What, the rocket, the heavy...
A man has made so much money that he started an electric car company, and then he made so much money he built a rocket company, and then he fired one of his electric cars into space because he's got so much money. He's basically Tony Stark.
I was just going to say, he is Tony Stark, isn't he?
And... Right, they managed to land the booster rockets,
Yeah,
right?
I saw that.
Simultaneously, like, half a mile away from each other or something. Yeah. Just beautifully came down together and landed perfectly. They can get that right, but they apparently didn't get the burn correct to put this rocket into orbit around Mars. So they basically, the rocket isn't going to go into orbit around Mars. It's going to head for the big asteroid belt out there instead, and it's just going to be broken up. So
it probably on a podcast. Did you listen to Tested this week?
No.
Right, they were talking. The science dude on Tested was saying he's like, the asteroid belt's not like it is in Star Wars. It's not that dense.
Right.
But it will basically, the radiation is just going to wreck that Tesla.
Right.
It's just going to kill everything in it and like make it break down because there's so much of it in just space.
I just love what you just said. Space isn't like it is on Star Wars.
Well, it's a reference point. You've got to have a reference.
No, but we know there's an asteroid belt in this solar system. Yeah, it isn't like the asteroid belt in Empire Strikes Back.
You couldn't jump from rock to
rock.
rock.
My chain of my thought.
Scientists announce space isn't like on Star Wars.
Hey, and it's probably just going to get absolutely peppered by microasteroids that will just tear through it.
Right, before
so
it ever gets anywhere close.
A bit of Swiss cheese by the time it gets there.
Right, fair enough. But, so there are people saying, is that really a dummy in the passenger seat? Or is he disposing of dead bodies? Has he got one in the boot as well, perhaps?
It's the Stig.
It's the actual Stig.
Because Top Gear's fucked, isn't it? So
wow.
They've just...
Goodbye,
it's your last job, fella. Off you go.
And also... Did they miscalculate the burn, or are they just fucking around? Are they thinking, we don't need the rocket back? It doesn't need to be.
Fuck it.
Let's see how fast we can make this fucker go, shall we?
I reckon.
Burn.
And apparently, the second stage that they tried to recover came down so hard it sunk the barge.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I think it ran out of fuel.
Right, and just dropped the last 10 feet or something.
And just dropped too hard, and it just
Oh dear. We'll have to watch a video for that. I'm sure there is one. Is there one?
I don't know.
I saw them live.
I haven't had internet, Chris.
Oh, yeah.
I moved house. I'm in that horrible fucking purgatory of no internet until tomorrow.
Well,
I've got just enough data on my phone to play Fortnite.
Our next podcast about consuming is going to be pretty small then, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? Mm. I am going to leave a video on our Facebook page of the two booster rockets landing, though, because that's pretty spectacular.
It does look amazing.
So go and have a look at that, and we'll bugger off and do something else. So thanks for listening, folks. We'll catch you next time. Say goodbye, guys.
Ta-ra.
See you later. Remember,
Ta-ra, you big shitter.
Space is not like it is on Star Wars. Just isn't.